Glub, 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 glub.
Okay. In 3, 2. Welcome back to the podcast.
Round 2.
Round 2. The Doing Life with Intention podcast.
With your host,
Chrissy Renee Cottman.
I don't know who Chrissy Renee is.
That's my name.
I
I don't know who Jerrod is.
Your stage name.
I don't know who stage name.
You got stage names over here.
I don't know who Jerrod is.
Why
Because
not?
according to my mother-in-law, your name is not Jerrod.
We're not going there.
Yeah, we are. Let's go there.
We're not going
You
there.
going there on the intros. Can we even get through the intro?
We're not going there. There's no French.
His name is Jerrod. And
No. You did not roll the R's, so you're not going to
I
go
see. I ain't rolling no R's.
like some romance novel. Zeta
Like
walked into the room,
fan fiction.
bare-chested, hair flowing.
with the horse bottom and the You know what I'm talking about? What do they call those? And he's like on the
Minotaurs.
beach and you know, those kind of books like that.
Minotaurs or whatever.
Yeah.
Horseback.
Jerrod made up his own name. His name is not Jerrod.
No, I did not make up my own name. My family looked at my mother and was like, that boy named Jerrod. Boy named Jerrod.
Wow.
You know, I looked up my name because, name meanings mean something
Yeah,
to me.
like you should.
And my name means he who rules with the sword or with the spear. Or
I love that. Is it a spear or a sword? I mean,
I don't know. It depends on what you look at.
what you
but-
giving?
But
Okay.
it's all leader, leader, and
I can definitely, that makes 100% sense.
it's all like leadership and leader with some type of weaponry.
Some leader with some kind of
Yeah.
sharp weapon.
Right.
Well, I just want to preface this show by saying that I am getting over a bit of a bug cold. I don't know what it was.
Getting over?
I am. I feel like I'm at the tail end of it. Yeah. Well, I am. And so please forgive the nasal that I'm giving tonight with a bit of sprinkle of brandy rasp in there, which I do love, by the way. I do love brandy rasp. But the nasal I can do without. But we wanted to commit and do the pod. And so here we are. We are giving fall and winter right now because I am still getting over that.
Because we have one hot child, one cold child.
Yeah. Oh, and I got the kids sick. It's terrible. Like, that's the worst thing when I'm sick or when you're sick and then we get the kids sick. It's like, I feel terrible. Like, that sucks. And the whole house is sick. Like, just let me be sick. And then, everybody else can be fine. Not the children.
I did not get sick.
Thank God.
Yes, thank God.
Thank God.
I was dreading it. I didn't want to come near you.
I know.
I absolutely
But we
hate
couldn't
being
help
sick.
it. We couldn't help. I mean, we live in the same place.
I didn't want to go near the kids.
Right.
Just set them outside. Come back when you're ready. When
Yeah.
you're 100% healthy,
Oh,
come
man.
back inside the
That
house.
is the worst. I felt so bad.
Go to your grandparents.
No, don't get them sick too.
No, but if you come around my mother and you like,
Could you
my
imagine?
mother's like this.
Right. Immediately, all Lysol's microban. All of the things.
That's like,
Bleach concoction in a spray bottle.
like right in your face too. Like,
Yeah.
you like,
I understand your mom so much more now. Like, it's not even a joke.
oh my
Because
gosh.
people are nasty.
Yo, this was all she needed was the excuse to start wearing masks because that's all she does now is just wear masks. I love my mom so much. I love her so much.
She's the sweetest lady.
Yeah, she'll give you a shirt off her back.
Yes.
Literally. She has taught me a lot about stewardship.
Yeah. So last episode, we discussed the heart behind the podcast.
I got some DMs.
Did you?
Yeah. We'll talk about them later.
Yeah.
That's fun.
No. Let's talk about them now.
No. Keep going. We'll talk about them later.
But we can be on a roll together with these DMs.
It's just interesting things. Like, we didn't say our names.
Oh, we didn't say our names though.
But we edited it out, I thought. Pretty sure we said
Well,
our
we
names.
said it today. We
Yeah.
definitely said it today.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. How do you not introduce yourself on the podcast?
And the microwave was in the back blinking.
The microwave is in the black blinking.
And I did iron my shirt. I'm no good at it, Not anymore. I need a lot of tools to iron a good shirt. America, I'm telling you, I need a lot to prepare.
You just gotta listen to your wife. That's all you gotta do.
I'm more of a throw it in the dryer, let it ride. Go. You sipping tea?
Well, thanks for explaining those DMs because I was concerned.
Oh, you were afraid it was gonna go down in the DM?
Oh, it wouldn't go down in either of our DMs.
It's not going down in the DMs.
Yeah, I know it's not.
I'm not even 100% sure what goes down in the DMs.
I'm not sure either. We ain't gonna find out.
That was slightly after my
out of your time. Yeah, mine too. But for today, we're gonna continue talking about stewardship. I think what's been on my heart to share for today into the situational, I guess, aspect of it. So when I say that, I mean we all doing life, right? Life is happening to all of us every day, good, bad, or positive and negative. I think that in those situations, we have a choice on how we move forward from them. And before we even move forward from those situations or experiences, how we go through them. Like, what perspective do we go through them with? I know for me, I try to practice gratitude. And I know that when I practice gratitude, I can experience the peace of God in a more naturally. It'll just come. And that's what my goal is. My goal is to experience the peace of God and other things. But that is one aspect of my walk with Christ, that I'm just his peace that surpasses all understanding. If I could walk with that peace and that joy all day, man, I'm good. I'm set. And so in order to, I guess, access that, peace, I found that when I practice gratitude, it comes more naturally. I say that to say, again, for an example, if we're going to commute, I commute all the time to whatever gig we do, whatever job we're doing, I'm commuting at least probably an hour, right? 45 minutes to an hour. And in that time, there could be traffic. And I could choose to say, this sucks. There's traffic. I may be late. I may not. I don't know. But this is annoying. Traffic is annoying. No one really likes traffic, right? This is just, who likes this, right? And this is just going to mess up my entire day. My entire day is now ruined because of this traffic, right?
Yeah.
Or, and this has happened to me several times over, I could choose to say, there's traffic. Well, there's a reason that God has this traffic here. There's usually not traffic on 83 at this time of day. However, there is today. I'm going to sit with that. Maybe I'll take this time to listen to one of my favorite podcasts. Or maybe I'll take this time to listen to some worship music. Or maybe I'll take this time to listen to that devotional that I was started on this morning.
You know what's really hard for our folks when it comes to traffic? Just using your example, what they forget. And I think it's a great example to bring up is that we forget that we're not the ones in control as much as you like to think.
What do you mean by that?
So, for example, I was talking about this with your sister the other day, right? And how our bodies like to be the puns, our flesh likes to be the vehicle that's in control.
Yeah.
And we so much operate in that because that's the thing that we can, that's our senses. We can taste it, we can see it, we can feel it, our logic, all of that. All of these things I can see, feel, touch. I can see that I'm going to be late. I can see the clock going down. I can see all of these things that are creating these different emotions that we're responding to. But in actuality, that's a backwards way of thinking. You should be thinking spirit-led first. Your spirit first, then your soul, then your flesh. If your spirit is leading to your soul, to your flesh, then you could kind of have that peace that you're talking about. Because then you could kind of put things in the right and proper order, in your life. because the flesh is always going to do what's most desirable for it.
Sure.
And usually that's self-serving and selfish.
Yeah.
And it doesn't give or, doesn't care about others. It cares about its own needs and its own desires. It doesn't often care about, other folks around them or what other folks need. Your soul your spirit definitely does.
Right.
Because your soul is more or less like a personality kind of thing, But depending on which vehicle are you allowing to drive your overall being in essence,
Yeah.
Who's really in control?
I do feel like sometimes we do take on things and think that we control them and we don't in some aspects. But I do also think we don't give ourselves enough credit for the power that we have over the way we think and our perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Because while God is the ultimate everything, creator, all the things, right?
Mm-hmm.
He does give us free will. And we have a choice. That's a choice. That means every day we have decisions and options on what we do or don't do. And a part of that is perspective. And a part of that is on us. And so in those situations, we do have the power over ourselves and our thoughts to say, hey, I'm going to choose to think differently about this. Like I may physically or, like my person, my flesh may feel like annoyed by this or frustrated by this. Mm-hmm. And those are human emotions. We have them. That's fine,
Mm-hmm.
However, if we're choosing to live a life intentionally, I don't want to waste my time being frustrated. I don't want to waste my time being annoyed or upset about tiny things when that could change the trajectory of how the next 2 or 3 hours of my day goes. Like I'm really wanting to be in the business of creating a negative day. You know what I'm saying? And,
Mm-hmm.
so if I can pull myself together that day
Mm-hmm.
and I can remember, gratitude, practicing that. Like if we're going to use the traffic situation, God, I'm thankful for a car. God, I'm thankful that I have the ability to look and see and hear and be coherent and aware to still drive my vehicle. God, I thank you that I have a phone that I can listen to a podcast or listen to, morning worship or listen to a devotional to continue my time while I'm sitting here in traffic and waiting. You know what I'm saying? God, I thank you that I have a gig to drive to that's paying me. Come on, listen.
Well, and I think what you're saying is exactly on par in what we're saying. We're saying the same things. We are approaching them from different angles. So what you're saying is the finished product is someone who now thinks from a spirit-led mind versus someone who thinks from a flesh-led mind.
Mm.
You know what I mean? So it's just a matter of, where's your mindset? Because someone who's like a flesh-minded person who's letting their flesh lead is still mostly going to think about, oh, I'm late. Oh, I'm this. They're going to think of those negative things because those negative things are what's depriving them from living that. What was that message that we just saw the other day about the tongue, right? And what's in your heart, like the different things that come out.
Come out of your mouth.
Right.
Right.
So when the things that you're talking about, if you're not speaking, or even if it's internal, like if you're not speaking those negative thoughts, then you don't have that in your heart. Right.
Right.
Because that's where that spirit is going to be. It's going to be generating from your heart. Right. So now you have this, you have a heart that's of God. You have this gratitude heart. You have this positive heart. You have this positive influence. Well, that only could come from the spirit. That's all good stuff. That's all fruits. Those are all fruits of spirit. So now you have that generating out, that positivity coming out. So now sitting in traffic is something that's like, and then someone comes up to you in the middle of traffic and they're like, how are you so calm in all this? Because I represent the kingdom. Let me tell you about it.
That part.
Let me tell you about it.
And that does sound so like cliche. Like, oh, yes, because I represent the kingdom. Yes, but I am an ambassador and I don't do the best job 100% of the time.
I say this all the time. There was only one perfect being, and we messed up. We killed him.
I didn't.
Listen,
Them seasoned folk, all them, that was all them. I wasn't a part of that. I wasn't a part of that. My
listen.
God, on today.
And thank God for his sacrifice.
Yes, thank God for it. Thank God for Jesus.
I couldn't imagine as a father like that right there, right? Let me send my son knowingly, willingly. I'm sending him to his death.
That part.
Like, off you go, son. You're going to go die. I think that's what a lot of folks who are not Christian, they get that and they read that. Even some folks who are Christian, they get that like, oh, that's callous.
Yeah.
But you say he did it for our love?
Yeah.
And I think as a father, I understand that in a whole different way. Because you think about your children, you say, I'm going to send my most capable child to do something. You know, I know to watch the other kids, to cook dinner for the other kids, something like that. Like my most capable child, I know who I can leave in charge, I can trust to do this, that, and the other. And they give you a little bit of pushback because God, in that moment, Jesus was like, God, please take this burden from me. So like, you got to going back to the other thought process, right? Don't let me do this. And then why have you forsaken me on the cross? Like all of that.
Right.
Right. And it's like, dang, that's cold. But then as a father, well, this same child, that's my most capable child, and they're telling me, oh, I don't want to cook dinner, I don't want to watch the kids, or they were giving that pushback. I'm like, oh, I can't do it. But you're like, I'm not accepting that from you because I know who you are.
Mm-hmm.
I know what you're capable of.
Mm.
And no, we're going to stay up a little bit later. We're going to work on these extra assignments because I know what you're capable of. I know that you could do this math division. I know that you could do this. I know that you could do that.
Right.
So you know I can push you. I'm not going to accept you not being able to do that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So then when you're thinking about it from that perspective, it's like, okay, well, that's different. It's fatherhood. It's like the ultimate fatherhood. And then it's like, when you get down to it and you're like, okay, like even down turning it back, you like sometimes your child does something so bad or something like you still love them, but you can't look at them sometimes. You're like, just go to your room.
Like I'm tapped out. I'm tapped out.
Like just go to your room. Right. Well, at that moment, Jesus had all the sin on him. He had all the sin on him. So I understand that too. Like, okay, all right. Wasn't that he had forsaken him? It was just like
it wasn't that he did it.
It wasn't even that he did it. It's like you represented all of the bad for all time. All of the sin everywhere at all time. Like when you think about it like that, and the man says, hey, can I get 10%?
You gonna go back on this 10%? I got so many comments about that.
But I can't get that 10%. I want a relationship.
That is the least you can do.
I want a relationship with you. So when you're in your car sitting in traffic, understand that the reason why you have your car.
That part.
And you're sitting in traffic. The traffic is here maybe because now I slowed you down 10 extra minutes.
Yeah.
So that you could, yes, you're going to be late for 10 minutes, but if you pray, it won't matter. Mm-hmm. All you got to do is talk to me about your worries, your concerns.
Right.
Guess what? You're going to be 10 minutes late and your boss is usually hounding you. Talk to me about it. Watch me take care of it.
Right.
That's literally his word. He loves being held accountable to his word.
He does. I mean, that's essentially the point is how do you, I mean, even if you want to use the word steward, but how do you, in those everyday kind of mundane experiences, like we said, life is just life and happening. You have a choice on how you go through it in your perspective. Mm-hmm. And that is a part of stewardship.
I got to circle back. What were these questions you were getting about this 10%?
You know what? And it could be because, again, I grew up in church. I always understood the idea of tithing. If you do not believe in Jesus Christ, if that is not the foundation of who you are, if you are not trying to live a life that is pleasing to God, if you're not trying to be a Christ follower, then what does tithing mean to you? You know what I'm saying? Like that, what does that mean to you? Maybe living with intention means something, But stewardship, what does that mean? You know, it doesn't have to be like a Christian only thing. You know, I don't think it does. Stewardship is a Webster defined like word. You know what I mean? However, I do feel that as Christians and as Christ followers, we are mandated to steward our lives in every aspect of it. Our finances, our marriages, our children, our health, our relationships, our time, all of those things.
Imagine what the world would look like if everyone lived for the purpose of like true stewardship, and that included that tithing of 10%.
Oh my gosh.
Seriously, so many problems would be solved. Homelessness would be gone.
Sure. I think it could.
Homelessness, done.
I may dare to agree with you on that one. I mean, I know it's a bold statement, but
I mean, because just think about it. Like, there's a lot of people that could just donate and give. I mean, and just manage it all well and have that thought process. Hunger, gone. We'll look at the earth. Like, how are we managing the earth? How are we caring for the earth?
Sure.
Like, look how much people don't realize the earth started to bounce back when we all just stayed in the house. Like, when we all COVID was like, oh man, we were like so upset. But if you look at some of these nature channel stuff, whales started swimming out in the ocean like, yo, the people gone.
Right. Right.
The earth is good. Like, we messing things up.
I know what you
that
mean.
should have been a huge wake up call.
Right.
Like, wait a minute. We messing stuff up.
We not doing something right.
There is a mountain in India that for so many years, I don't know how many, but for so many years, they could not see the mountain due to the amount of pollution and just disgusting stuff that's in the clouds and everything. It was like they couldn't see it during COVID.
Wow.
They could see the beauty
Straight
of the
through
cloud. Like, I think it's like from where they were, they could see like the Himalayas and everything else. Like,
wow.
They were like, wow. Like, that's out there still? Like, yeah, that's still out there.
Yeah.
Your world's not encapsulated with fog and smog.
Yeah.
Like, so like when you talk about like that 10% and like just giving, like, you just start thinking about, I'm not always the biggest fan of my coworkers.
I'm your coworker.
I'm not talking about current employment.
Oh.
Current employment, I get away with a lot because I'm in an entanglement with the management in my current employment.
Why do you have to be like that? Why are you like that?
Me and the owner in an entanglement, so I get away with a lot. Anyway.
But thank you for clarifying what you meant.
Anyway. So, but could you imagine that, you know, knowing that, I got 3 coworkers that are driving from the same area that I'm driving. We could carpool. We could take turns.
Sure.
How that would change the traffic. Right?
Yeah.
You know, and doing that, not because, I love my coworkers and my coworkers are so great, just to be of service. Because, you know, well, the reason why I have this car is because God gave it to me. So this is my way of giving back. This is my 10% of this vehicle to God. I'm doing this to honor them because I don't know what this person's going through. Maybe this person has to drive Ubers every day.
Right.
And if this person is catching an Uber every day to get to work and they live a neighborhood over, you know what I mean?
It makes a difference.
It makes a difference. That's one less vehicle.
Sure. For them to have to.
That's blocking you on the way to work. Just different things like that. Like, just imagine how we could change the world just thinking on this stewardship mindset.
Yeah.
Just different things. If you steward your time differently. If you got up and you said, you know what, the first thing I'm going to do today, I'm going to get up a little bit earlier. I'm going to get up a little bit earlier because I'm going to start dedicating the first few moments of my day. I'm going to start giving them to God. I'm going to give him my first. So that forces you to get up a little bit earlier. But now since you got up earlier, you're getting to work on time.
Right.
Now you're not driving all crazy. Now you're not driving on the shoulder getting pulled over. How that would change traffic.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like there's so many different ripples to it.
Yeah.
It's just a change in the mindset. Just a change in the mindset. And I know people are going to be like, you don't know how many people not doing it. I know how many people not doing it. Look at the traffic. Look at the traffic.
Some people doing it.
I didn't say everybody. I didn't say everybody.
If we all were to do it collectively, like how it would make a big difference.
That's what I know. That's the difference. I know that we all aren't doing it.
Right.
I know that enough of us aren't thinking.
Enough of us are not doing it. Yeah.
In that mindset, in that way.
Yeah.
You know? And then you got this, some people are like, well, I'm listening to gospel. I'm about to make some people mad.
Oh my gosh.
Why
you always got to say something controversial?
It's not controversial.
Sanctification is a process. It don't happen overnight.
I'm not. Listen. I'm not holier than thou.
I'm just saying folks have to go at their pace.
Let them go at their pace. I just speak truth. And I got a lot. Listen, don't try to hit me up with what I did in 1999, 2002. My stuff is known. I'm out there. Okay? Don't. I'm a work in progress as well. Okay? We all going through this.
Yeah.
Different levels. Like I said, these things started digitally downloading. What is it? The spiritual mixtape started downloading. I started listening to that only it's been 5-6 years.
Sure.
Right?
Sure.
It's been 5-6 years. So you're just seeing the product of 5 or 6 years of listening to the spiritual mixtape. And I haven't fully understood or applied everything, which is why we're inviting experts on.
Yeah.
Right? They're going to be on to talk about different areas of expertise that give us some real insight. So don't hit my DM, my wife DM, like, well, he did this back in 15. Duh. There's no secrets. Right?
But
here we go talk about did you know your husband has 2 phones? I ain't going to talk about that.
Oh my gosh.
Did you know your husband has 2 phones?
Y'all. Let me tell you this.
And you got something about my mother too. Calling my mother. She called my mother about the tithing, y'all.
Wait, don't divert.
That was too funny.
See, folks, this is why you mind your business. This is why you mind your business. Because you'll have egg on your face. We were sitting down. I won't say where and I won't say when. And we were sitting down and we were trying to figure out, I think we were waiting for someone else. Mm-hmm. And we were trying to figure out what to get to eat or something like that. And we were gonna do.
I was trying to get something to eat.
Oh yeah, and I think we were all trying to put it in order or something like that. Either way, so Jerrod is like doing the thing on his phone or whatever the case is, and he's doing it, and he's like, what do you want? What do you want? Taking orders, and then he's like, okay, I put it in. I'm gonna go ahead and get it because by the time I get there, it'll be done because I put it in the order. Mm-hmm. So we're like, okay, cool. He's gonna go get the food. He's gonna be back, whatever. So while he's gone, one of the people who we were with says to me, hey, did you know your husband has 2 phones? And I said, and I just wanted to make sure, like, they said what they said. And they were like, yeah, your husband has 2 phones. Like, do you know? Do you know your husband has 2 phones? Like, do you know that? And I was like, yeah, I have 2 phones too. We both have 2 phones. And they were like, oh, okay. And so I do this, not that I have to, but I just sometimes do it just to not prove a point, but for understanding. Let's say that. For understanding. And I said, we have a personal phone and we both have a business phone because we both run the same business and blah, 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 trying to separate the two and all the good stuff. It's like, why would you say that? And then why would you say that in front of all the people there?
You trying to create controversy.
Why are you creating...
But the worst part about it is, if I'm trying to hide something, why would I
have it in front of everybody?
Hey, I'm trying to keep this second phone secret, and I'm going to pull it out in front of everybody so you all can see. And mind you, the other phone's a whole different color.
But genuinely, I do think they had the best intentions. Bless their heart. I do. I think they had good intentions to an extent. Yeah. The point is just, be observant. Use context clues. You need
to tell them about how you call my mother about tithing.
Why do you keep saying that? I'm
because
trying to
that
ignore
is
that.
I know. I'm not letting you.
You know what? And
she called my mother.
And I did because, and it was, I look back and I'm a little embarrassed, but
that's why she was trying to ignore it, y'all.
Because I was so young. I was so young and stupid and like so churched in my way. Like it was no other way but this churched way. Okay.
I remember the whole argument. We was having a whole argument about tithe and 10%.
I said, I'm not marrying you if you're not giving your tithe.
And I said,
that's what I said.
I said, tithing isn't just money. She's like, what? What? That is not correct. That is not what the Bible says. I was like, what does the Bible say on it? Show me the scripture. Like, let's go Bible. Let's do it.
But it does say you're supposed to give 10% of what you make.
Yes, it does.
The point was, because that we can get into that too.
10% of everything, God owns it all. It's 10% of everything, and you're supposed to put into the storehouse.
The point that I wanted to be sure of is that I wasn't marrying a man who didn't believe in tithing.
And a non-believer. She thought I was a non-believer.
That's not true. I was raised, and I'll just say it, I was raised Pentecostal, apostolic, whichever one you want to call it, but I believe it was Pentecostal. But I was raised Pentecostal, and it was a very legalistic culture of church, I feel like, and because of that, and I was raised in it, so I was like oozing it, like it was a lifestyle, and
it's my lifestyle.
It was, and I think that Jerrod, while he believed in God and in Jesus, like believed in Jesus, he in his life, one, there's an age difference. First of all, let's start there, but then two,
yeah, she goes by 8.
I was just That is not what I was trying to do.
Go ahead.
I was literally just making an observation to support my theory. He had like looked into Judaism and like Buddhism and Muslim religion, like a bunch of religions you were looking into. And I was immediately turned off. Like, what? There's one truth, one way, and one light. What are you looking for?
I forgot the
you
one.
You found the way, the truth, and the light.
I forgot the one you was like, that's witchcraft. Like, wait, what?
So didn't really know much about the other religions or anything like that, and had no wanting to. I didn't want to understand. I didn't want to know. I didn't want to know the ins and outs. I didn't want to, because I knew Jesus, and that's all I need to know. He was kind of open to understanding different religions and the practices and how cultures and things like that. While I did have like openings to cultural understandings, religious understandings, I was not open to at the time. And so that was where he'll say that I said he was a heathen, but that's not what I said. I would just be like, why are you trying to figure, what are you looking for? Jesus is Lord. What are you looking for? Okay.
But you called my mama.
I did. And I called your mom and I asked her what she taught you in tithing. Oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. No, but seriously, I was young and we were in an argument and I didn't know how to communicate well. And I'm still working on it. So
Can you imagine your girlfriend calling your mother about tithing?
Oh my God, that just doesn't even sound right.
And let me paint this picture for y'all and my mother, right? Let me just paint this picture. My mother's the kind of person leave the house and she got gospel songs playing. Nobody in the house put the gospel songs on.
To set the tone for when she comes back.
But hold on.
To set the atmosphere for when she comes back into that house.
And when I say gospel, I mean the soul stirrers, the mighty clouds of joy.
What's wrong with it? That's all right.
Dixie hummingbirds.
That's all right.
Okay. I'm talking about.
That's all right.
I'm talking about hymns, y'all. I'm talking about hymns. And if she can't get that, the last straw is a sermon. Like nobody in the house, but there's a sermon on, a whole sermon. Okay. That is my mother.
That's all right.
That's how I was raised.
That's all right.
Okay. I want y'all to understand that. So a lot of times I've gotten this question before, like, how were you introduced to God or what's your God walk? Like, I've never not been with God. He's been there since day one. And my mother made sure of that. Okay. We went apostolic.
Wow. Anyway, that's in the past.
She still call my mother about certain things.
Yes, but that's for our own personal conversations and not anything to do with you directly.
Now they won't even tell me what they talk about.
That's all right.
Like, I know you're talking about me.
No,
Like,
we not.
so.
No, we not. We got our own relationship.
I'm happy y'all do.
Me too. I'm so glad I don't have that relationship could be a different situation because I've heard stories. So I'm grateful for your mom and I's relationship.
Oh, you say my mother knows how to steward the mother-in-law position.
She does.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my gosh. Your mom is a stellar mother-in-law.
Mm-hmm.
Stellar. She's stellar.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. 100%. 100%.
Yeah.
More ways than one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got an awesome mom.
Yeah, you did.
I got a dad joke about traffic.
No dad jokes.
So I have a fear
I'm sorry, y'all in advance.
about speed bumps. Like the speed bumps. I have a fear of speed bumps. But I'm slowly getting over them.
Not you cracking up laughing like it's that funny.
It's hilarious. I'm slowly getting over the speed bump fear.
You know what? I'm going to give you an A for really committing to that joke. There was illustration. There was, there were different inflections in your voice. Like, A+ for committing to that joke. Other than that, it was awful.
I'm slowly getting over them.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yes.
So, but yes, I think at the end of the day, this stewardship, man, I just want to be a good human being. I want to be in love and do life with my husband and be good human beings, be giving human beings. I want to raise good human beings. And I want all of us to love Jesus. And everything we do, I want it to point to Jesus. It
will.
We had a long conversation, of course, for our anniversary.
It's our anniversary. Do you know what today is?
No, it's not today.
It's our anniversary. You're supposed to sing it. Because you're the one with the gift.
No, I was enjoying you singing it.
You cannot possibly.
How am I going to do this with all the rasp and nasal?
But you sound like Brandy.
I wish I did sound like Brandy.
You do right now. Let me hear.
No, I'm good. Thanks. But it was our
I'm
anniversary.
going to get her to sing, y'all. I'm telling you, it's a treat.
We did just celebrate an anniversary. Again, still that yearly kind of check-in, but marriage specific about what was working, what wasn't. And I was really excited about where we were. I felt like we were on the same page with a lot of things, which was really good. And, I'm excited. One thing I think that we had a common theme on was time management.
Mm-hmm.
I want so badly to master the skill of time management. I think there are just so many things that have I don't even know, but that is not my gift, unfortunately, right now in this season of my life. And I would really love to become a lot better at that.
Yeah. Time management is important. I think what's important is that we're going to focus on a lot of different aspects of our marriage, and it all fits and it makes sense.
Yeah.
And it's not overwhelming. It doesn't feel heavy.
We walked away from that conversation. It was one, we had the same ideas and the same thoughts. Mm-hmm. And then two, the way that you and I kind of came up with either solutions or ways to work with or around those things to make them better, to improve them. I was we're on one accord. We're on the same page and we can do this.
This ship is still rolling.
Oh yeah. Where's it going? Where is it going?
Till death do us part. Till death do us part. Point blank, period.
Period. 6 years.
6 years.
12 dating.
12 dating. Still dating.
I was so proud of us because I really love how we have been sticking to that yearly check-in type thing for marriage. And I think it's nice, like, of course, the whole podcast started with, like, the check-in for, like, family stuff and, like, you know, yearly stuff for that. But the fact that we set that time also for our marriage, I think is really dope.
Yeah.
And I think it's just it's a small thing. Like, it's just communicating. Again, like, what worked, what didn't, you know, what you're feeling, but just pertaining to marriage.
It's an opportunity for us to not hold anything back and to be very much, like, intentional on, hey, you know, I didn't mention it for the last 5 months or for this past year, but when this is going on, this makes me feel this way. You know, and I don't want it to keep going that way. Or when this is going on, this makes me feel this way, and I love that. And it's very sound advice from the Hendersons.
Yeah.
And, you know, they have a beautiful marriage.
They do.
And I can't thank them enough for that because we've taken that on and it's working for us, especially this last year, because I think this year was an opportunity for us to really, you know, the first few years it was like, I'll say we approached it, me specifically, in a juvenile way. You know, like just to say, oh, this is what I don't like. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, I don't like, you know, kind of like a kid be like
this is my time to share my grievances.
All right. I don't like chocolate ice cream. I only like vanilla.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, what? Yeah. You know what? I only want steaks on Thursdays. Like,
right.
You know, you're like, what? But this year, I think just like the projects that we've been working on and just how God has been working on me and the fact that I'm actually starting to like really intently trying to like listen and apply the different principles and different things. I see the different things working. I didn't come at it with just this juvenile approach, you know.
Yeah.
I came at it with my spirit first, how you're supposed to, not with my flesh first.
And does not result in probably how you want it to.
It doesn't. It doesn't. So this time around, I approached it with my spirit being led first, my spirit being in control, and just saying, well, what is it that I want? And understanding that the things that I want and the things that I need will come, but they require work and sacrifice.
Sure.
And they require work and sacrifice within me. And I don't have to ask that from you, especially me being the lion, right? If I'm trying to be like God, if I'm trying to be the representation of God in our family, then for me to be a lion of a husband, right? Then understanding that, okay, I'm going to have to put in some work. I'm going to have to make some sacrifices. And that may mean that I may not get what I want today or tomorrow, but in time, the things that I'm needing or requiring will come about. You know, but set forth what hey, this is what my expectations are. This is what I'm going to be doing. This is what I think we should do.
Right.
And that'll kind of dictate the changes in the marriage that I'm looking for in different aspects. And because I'm being spirit led, you automatically were like, I love that idea. And then here we go with God's commandments and what he said, your wife will submit, right? Because I'm following. You immediately said, you know what? I love that. And this is how we can do this, and this is what I will do. Mm-hmm. I didn't have to command or demand anything. You were like, this is what I'm going to do to make that happen.
Right.
So guys, talking to y'all again. Lead with your spirit. Lead with your spirit. Okay? So when you do that, and that comes out, it's like, okay, bet. So now we're looking at the different results and how that's going to change and what we need to put in place and what that looks like. Like, let's do these devotionals. Let's do these different things.
Yeah.
Boom. Now we have some intimacy going on that makes the heart grow even fonder. You know, makes the heart grow even fonder, right?
Right.
It demands us having that time. And it's like, now you don't have to be like, you know what? You work 80 hours a week. Can I get 2? You know, that doesn't have to be the conversation.
Right.
That doesn't have to be the conversation. The conversation's like, let's look at each other for 5 minutes today.
Right.
Let's share a note.
Right.
You know, and if I'm leading that charge, it's going to be reciprocated. You know, so it's different things like that. And we looked at that. We did a look into that for not just intimacy. I just chose intimacy because that's a hot topic. We can try to change my voice a little bit.
Oh my God.
You know, but you know, we did the same thing for, you know, financing.
Right.
You know, for our finances, for our health.
Right.
You know, for mental and physical. Like, what does that look like?
Right.
You know, and we just kind of started mapping out, like, what does that look like? And how does that change our marriage? You know, physically, like if we're physically working out, mentally, you know, doing things for our mental space and all that kind of stuff, how does that help us in our marriage?
Right.
And how does that impact our marriage? Well,
Right.
I don't feel so overwhelmed if I've taken X amount of time to do this.
Right. Refill your cup first.
You know what I mean? So let's make sure that we are getting that mental space.
Yeah.
You know, these endorphins are going. I feel better about who I am.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then the question, just kind of tie it back into stewardship, right? You know, because vanity, that's my thing, right? Vanity.
You and this vanity.
So like if you are working out and you know your muscles start popping, you know, they got all those mirrors in the gym so you can see how you look, right? And you're looking, that's very flesh led. And you're like, why? Yeah, how do I take that on a stewardship level? Well, understand that the body that you're given is not yours. It's not your body. You're borrowing it. And it's for a very short period of time. And how well you command that vessel, meaning what you put into it food-wise, what you put into it through what you read, what you watch on television, what you're feeding the brain.
My God.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All of those different things. So when you work out, it's great that you work out and you feel good about yourself. But if your first thought is, I feel good, I look good, and I'm the ish, you know what I mean? That's the first.
Not.
I don't want to do that. Because I'm the ish. I mean, DJ Class. That song's still
right. That song is still popping.
It's still fire.
It's still fire.
It's still fire. But I'm just saying.
If they play it,
but I'm just saying.
Hey.
But if you're looking in the mirror and that's like, oh, I'm the ish, and that's your thought.
Right.
That's not like.
Right.
I'm not saying you gotta be pumping like 1 for Jesus, 2 for Jesus, 3 for Jesus. I'm not saying that's gotta be
1 for Jesus, 2 for Jesus, 1 for the Father, 2 for the Son. Let me tell you something. If I see a man but you know what? God bless him though.
God bless him.
God bless him.
I'm not knocking him. I'm just saying that's not necessarily what I'm saying.
1 for the Father.
Just being able to say like, you know, thanking God that like, hey, I can do this. I have the ability to do this.
Yeah.
Thanking God that, you know, I do look this good. I do look great. You know what I mean? Like just changing your mindset that it's like, it's because of God that I have these abilities or I have that these things are possible.
Right.
You know what I mean? That I'm able to do these things. And when someone comes up, it's like, oh man, you look real great. Like, thank God. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like just being able to put yourself on.
And genuinely though.
And genuinely.
Not like fake humble.
Yeah, not fake. I mean, if you can't do it, you can't do it.
Yeah.
But it will come in time. So it's the matter of being able to constantly place yourself in alignment and put God first, put the kingdom further, the kingdom first, and generally want to do that. You know what I mean? So that's kind of like what I mean by in all things, like changing that mindset to all things, give God his reverence and his due.
Yeah. I think people forget that a relationship with God, just like any other relationship, requires work.
Yeah.
Intention and stewarding. And you can't just, like you said, flex.
Yeah.
Like, it has to be more.
It has to be more. And
it
God
has to be more.
And God put you through these trials and tribulations on purpose. He wants to test your mettle. Iron sharpens iron, right? He wants to test you. James chapter 2. Consider it pure joy, my brothers and sisters, whenever you face trials of many kinds, because you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance. Let the perseverance finish its work so that you may be mature and complete, not lacking anything.
Mature and mighty.
That's it. So that's why God puts you through these different, test trials. That's why that's why you end up in the traffic, right?
We love that traffic. We done took that traffic example and then took it down the...
We went all the way around 695 with that.
The whole loop.
Around the whole beltway, in and out of the loop.
Yeah.
So, that's what, that's why God puts you in these different situations, adversities, and these hard times, because he's really sharpening your metal. He's really testing you. He's making sure you're not going to lack for anything. In these times, you can ask God for wisdom. You can ask him for guidance, ask him for the peace, ask him for these different things. If you're being led by your flesh, you're going to find that you got a lot more hard times ahead.
But I love that part. It's about that, and it's about creating that relationship with God and an intimate relationship with God.
Yeah, that's all he asked for.
Yeah.
Think about what he did.
Yeah. That's all he wants is communion with us.
Yeah.
An intimate relationship. Thank you guys for being here, listening and watching with us. Thank you for bearing with my baritone today.
Boom.
Thank
you guys so much, and learning to love like Jesus, just like you, hopefully, and we'll see you next week.